Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Chapter Select Member Special Too Fast, Too Furious movie commentary. I am one of your hosts, Max Roberts, and I'm joined, as always, by Logan Moore. Hi, Logan.
Hi. When we started doing this was definitely not one of the ones that I thought you would want to do a commentary for.
This is absolutely one of the ones to do a commentary for because it is one of my favorites.
Is it really?
I have an undeniable soft spot for this movie. It's definitely because it's the first one I ever saw. This is the first Fast and Furious movie I ever saw.
Okay.
And nostalgia has crippled me. And honestly, this movie's amazing. It's so good.
I mean, I've mentioned this on a bunch of other things, but like every other movie outside of the first one on this season, this is straight up the first time I've seen this. So this is not only going to be my commentary for the movie, but this is going to be my raw commentary of things that I am witnessing for the first time ever.
And here's your first new family member.
I need to turn on subtitles.
I just turned mine on. Fire him up, Logan. Let's fire him up.
Got Ludacris keeping the rappers involved in these movies.
Look at the
First you
neon.
had Ja Rule. So I mentioned, and I'll talk about this more on our dedicated episode we do for this, but I do specifically remember when this movie came out. Like, I was in school. I lived on Cordova Drive before I moved to Danville. I was going to West Newton Elementary. I think I was in second or third grade, and I remember when this movie came out because kids at my school were starting to get into this, and they're like, you know what my favorite movie is? The Fast and the Furious.
Too Fast, Too Furious. Oh my gosh. We're good.
Does her shirt just say porn on it? Just
I missed it. I was tweaking my audio.
There was a girl in it. She just had a shirt that just said porn on it, I believe.
Oh man. Come on, Joaquin. You recognize those cars? Two of them?
Yeah. Who is that? I recognize him too.
The red one?
No, the actor.
But I'm saying the guy in red or the guy in the brown car?
The guy in red there, I believe.
He's in a couple of TV shows and stuff. If you ever watched Prison Break, he's in Prison Break.
Michael Ealy is what I am being told here, thanks to Amazon. It's actually kind of cool how they do this. I'm watching this on Prime.
Oh, they're
or the guy in the yellow there. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. You want to race?
I was going to say, at what point here is Brian going to show up? Because we know that this will be his intro.
So, again, tying into the prelude that we just watched, you know I need the money. He just races for money.
So, here's the thing I don't know. And I mean, don't tell me. But I don't even know if Dom is in this movie.
You'll find out.
And then he makes his grand return in Fast and Furious, maybe? Because I know Fast and Furious was a big deal when that came out, because it was like, oh, the original crew's back together.
The tagline for Fast and Furious was, I think it was new model, original parts. So
yeah, because I knew that was a big deal. And I know that Too Fast largely features a lot of new characters.
This, oh my gosh. Look at this, his skyline. This is iconic. This is the Hot Wheel.
I think he's wearing
That's the
dunks.
cover art for the episode. I have this Hot Wheel of this skyline. I thought this car was the coolest car in the world for a very long time. This one specifically. It's the blue.
Too Fast, Too Furious song playing in the background.
By Ludacris.
Yes.
It was one of those, rap actor partnership things. Look at the smoke and fire coming out of the car.
It's Brian. It's like the least intimidating thing you could ever say. Oh no, it's Brian. Sorry to our friend Brian Hankin out there.
That's a cool shot right there. How they had it roll up and blow the smoke into the camera. I like it.
I mean, it still remains like so... I don't know. There's just something about how these movies are shot that is so nostalgic.
It's his energy, this early 2003 energy.
You can tell these were shot, I mean, to my knowledge, maybe I sound like an idiot here, but you can also tell these were shot on film, I believe. Like, these are not shot digitally. It just has a different cinematic look to it. Like, and I'm not saying this is like an Oscar-winning picture or anything like that, but it just has a...
There's texture.
Yeah, there's just depth to the scenes. It doesn't look so flat. And again, none of these sets are super amazing or anything like that, but...
So they did film this movie in Florida. It takes place in Miami. I don't know if they filmed it in Miami, but they definitely filmed it in Florida. So now we're raising the stakes. I like how Brian's wardrobe is a white t-shirt and some jeans.
Yo, just wearing white t-shirts, though, there's something to be said about just rocking a white t-shirt and jeans. If you can pull it off, especially if you're like in shape, which I've never been. But I mean, there are people that I know are in this movie that I'm looking forward to seeing how they get introduced. Oh, well, there's one right there, right on cue.
Told you she wasn't in the prelude.
Why is his steering wheel on the right side? Is he driving a European car?
Japanese. This is a Nissan Skyline GTR.
Okay, that explains it.
Steering wheel's on the correct side of the car. The Skylines are awesome. Thanks, Brian. And it's nice that this movie is still, like, Fast and Furious is still about racing cars on a core level.
At this
opening
point,
up with the car race, yeah.
Fighting tanks or whatever the heck it becomes.
Mm-hmm. And it's
the blue tint to his car matches Paul Walker's eyes very well.
It's probably why they accented it with blue. Look at the flames. It's interesting to see already how much more of a role Ludacris has than who was the rapper in the last movie that you pointed out?
Ja Rule.
And obviously we know Ludacris is in other movies in this series, so you know it's easy to remember he's going to be a major player.
I gotta know. I know we're in the middle of a drag race here right now, but what do fans normally think of this one? Is this one of the more divisive ones, or what is the kind of...
I was looking at Rotten Tomatoes the other day, and it's at a 50-something% for audience. Fans, though, it is on the lower end, I think, of fans. I think you have to have a special place in your heart for this one. It can be divisive, especially when you think of the other ones where Tokyo Drift is top tier and saved the franchise. And then I think it's probably on the low end, but it's my favorite. Do you notice the difference in how these races are shot from the first movie already?
Yeah.
You can tell when the car is CG, like that.
Well, before
Get out the way.
In the last movie, they only raced in a straight line, too. They weren't racing Gran Turismo style around a neighborhood or whatever.
Pretty much.
It was a quarter-mile straight race.
So it's a more dynamic race, but they're also relying more on special effects. But what they do with
the cuts in and out of the car are cool, though. I like this.
There's a good sense of speed.
There's a good sense of like seamlessness to it, though, where it is CGI, yes, but it's going in and out so fast that it doesn't look real wonky. I appreciate the cultural diversity of this racing crew here.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, if this movie would have come out in 2022, people probably would have said they were intentionally trying to be woke or something stupid with all of these different nationalities that are present.
Yo.
He's
what have we
kicking
learned?
the NOS on.
Can't be pushing the
You
NOS
can't
button
using
too early.
it too early.
I like how there are two races essentially going on. It's the race for third and it's the race for first. It's almost like an A plot and B plot in the same race.
Yes. That dude's looked very stressed out this entire race, even though he's been out in front.
He's nervous.
I can smell you. Oh, they're going to launch their cars.
Like, not only
like
are
that?
we
We're gonna
conducting
try
an
to
illegal
kill
street
them.
race, we've also broken in and we're lifting the bridge.
Bridge.
Great line.
I
of
love that
dialogue.
effect.
Oh my gosh, I love this movie. Double
He hit
push.
2 NOS buttons.
Oh boy.
He's going to shoot over him.
Yeah, because that's how cars work.
That was a cool reverse shot. Like how it flipped.
The
upside
flip?
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Pepsi sponsorship.
I'm sure they all appreciate your nice surprise there, Ludacris.
Yeah, their cars being totaled.
Yeah. Very nice shock here.
He's the only one that was smart enough to not do it.
What?
These are lines of dialogue.
What's something you would yell when jumping into the air? How about smack that ass?
This man's got to go to a hospital. Suki with the second place. Respect. You like the respect nod?
Yeah. He hasn't lost a race yet.
Undefeated. Well, since leaving LA, he hasn't
Since
lost a race.
leaving, yeah. You gotta watch the pre-film to know what I'm talking about there with him not losing races. Wow, very smooth there. He totaled her car, and she's like, yeah, let's get together now, baby.
Busted.
My guess, and this was before I even started watching this movie, my guess is that Eva Mendez's character is not a good person, or she's
Not
a
a good
cop
person.
herself. She'll be revealed as like some sort of antagonist here,
All right.
because
We'll
I
find
know one of the things I do know about this film series, even though I don't know a lot, is that what's his face does marry Mia, and they like have a kid.
Yes.
Because I've seen that whole ending scene, obviously, where they split apart in the final movie and they write him out. So I know that happens.
Okay.
So she's going to be a love interest in this movie, which means things have to go south at some point. And how does that happen? I'm thinking maybe she's an undercover cop or something.
So we've established new technology that can just take a car out. Do you recognize the police officer?
I didn't there, but let me see again.
I'm fairly sure that's the same cop in the first movie. I now have to look this up.
Did they show him again here?
Yeah. You should recognize him.
Mm-hmm. He's the guy who said, if you want time, get a magazine.
A classic.
I think they all look familiar.
Maybe not.
So he leaves the cops, bails out his friend who's also a street racer, drives across the country, gets caught street racing, and now they're just briefing him.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to get him. Did he also say that Eva Mendes is a cop there a second ago? That she's
the
embedded?
undercover agent.
But they didn't say who?
Mm-hmm. And there's your incentive of why they've brought him in.
I was going to say, is he talking about his pizza cup there? You got to call in Dominic Toretto. Is this going to be Tyrese?
Time to meet another member of the family, Logan.
I assume this is Tyrese. Yeah.
I think this movie does a really great job of, you don't need to see the first one to grasp what's going on, which was the case for me when I saw this at the ripe young age of 9.
I mean, it's a whole new cast of characters so far. I mean, the cops, Brian's back, and then the cops are back. But that's about it.
But they've filled you in. Brian's a cop on the run. They do well. It's like a soft reboot, but it's a sequel.
I mean, I don't know if it's a soft reboot.
No, I'm saying it has the, when I'm like God of War 2018, where everything sticks, but it's Some familiar faces, but new people.
I still think it's funny that these guys probably got cast in this movie. Like Tyrese probably got cast in this movie just thinking like, oh, it's just this part in this Fast and Furious sequel. And then now he's like 8 or 9 movies deep in this series and he's one of the biggest characters in the franchise.
A bajillionaire. Also stars in Morbius.
He probably thought nothing of it when I'm sure he thought something of it, but.
Pig. Sup?
Is he gonna punch him? Yeah, of course he is.
There's tension. I was like, what's he gonna do? He's gonna punch him? It's very dramatic, but then it pulls out to that back, far away shot, and it becomes childish.
Now he's eating popcorn watching them fight.
Look at this, he's got him in a chokehold, like a UFC fighter.
I got a job.
I got a deal.
I like Paul Walker trying to be a tough guy.
Mm-hmm. Like getting up in his face.
Because he does it really poorly.
They act like brothers. Now we can take the RV and cook some crystal meth. Time to
Just
take
better make sure you get a good lawyer if you're going to start doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Did they take it off? Is that what they tried to show there? Okay.
He just hasn't.
Man, Brian's wearing a West Coast Chopper shirt. That's
and
very,
basketball
very
shorts.
early 2000s.
Right? I wonder where Barstow is. I've never looked up Barstow. Where's Barstow?
Would it be in Arizona? Because that's where he's from?
I don't know. Barstow, California? Yep, it's in California. Makes sense that he was a cop out in LA. Barstow's outside of LA.
The hater license plate on the Mitsubishi. The purple
and
Mitsubishi.
There's Eva Mendes again.
Mm-hmm. So she is a cop, like I theorized.
Yes.
I was spot on, which means the law will break them apart here at the end of this film, like I guessed. Because Brian's got that street racer in him, and she'll probably be a cop lady.
That was a cool shot right there. They were up by Roman on his left, and then went up and weaved between the cars and went to the passenger side of Brian's car. This is a classic. This is a move. You gotta use this move.
Is this what you did to get your wife?
Exactly.
So yeah, it's becoming increasingly apparent that Dom is just not going to be in this film. Which again, I did not know.
Dom is not in this movie.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense. That makes more sense with Fast and Furious, with how it's all about getting the gang back together and is the new relaunch point afterward. Yes. It's interesting, though, that they chose to end Fast 1 with the post-credit scene solely focused on Dom. And then you get to this and the sequel and nowhere to be seen.
Maybe we should look this up before we record the full episode. But I would love to understand why they chose to stick with just Brian in the sequel.
Maybe it was a scheduling thing. I know Vin was really busy back in the early 2000s. He was on all kinds of stuff back then, yeah. I mean, the Riddick movies were going a little bit harder back then. I mean, he ended up having a lull, but I feel like late 90s, early 2000s, he had a lot of stuff going on. Nowadays, it's mainly just he's in whatever the new Fast movie is, and then he goes and says his I am Groot voice lines. Mm. Those are the only things I can really think of that he's in anymore.
Look at those socks.
The shorts, the shoes.
It's a whole thing, man.
I mean, hey, he looks like I'd probably look nowadays. I think I know this scene. This is where he says, "We hungry," isn't it?
We're close. It's not this exactly, but we're getting there. Look at that. TV is a painting.
So what is the villain man's name?
Carter.
Okay. She just said it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that supposed to be his squeak? Okay, yeah, there it is. There it is. Is her being under supposedly mean that
you're asking all the questions like right before they're answered?
Little Haiti. Interesting.
I've been to Miami once. I don't know if I ever went to Little Haiti.
They have to give up their
soundtrack to this movie is straight fire. I think you're a little behind me now.
No, I'm past that. No, I'm listening to the music.
Okay,
I haven't stopped or anything.
No, I was just trying to tell you. Mentioned driver's license. Yeah, they gave their driver's licenses, so they're driving without a license. Crime.
And
now we are auditioning. Now, these are cars on the road. Like, that's, at least that looks like a real shot to me.
No, it definitely was, I believe.
But we got to go inside the car now.
Just like in the last movie.
Silly cops.
This movie's doing a lot less, outside of Roman, it's doing a lot less character work so far, though, and it's more just about, let's race around.
It's a tighter cast. And I think it's more focused. Like, we know the plot of this movie we're straightforward. There's no 30-minute, Brian's secretly an undercover cop. Like, none of that's a thing. This guy clearly doesn't know how to drive.
I feel like that might kill you. Yeah. Just a feeling.
But also, I think that was real. Not obviously a person in the car, but
that man is dead.
Exactly. No, but running over with a semi, I think that looks very real as far as a practical effect. And you're starting to see this stunt work kind of building up more and more between the movies.
Everything Paul Walker says sounds cool, even when what he's saying is dumb.
I think that's a testament to his delivery. Because he's also really cool. And this was the first time I heard, "How do you like them apples?"
You'd never heard that before?
Not when I was a child. This was the first time. It wasn't in, what's that movie with Matt Damon in it? Where he's and Ben Affleck, and he's super smart at math.
Good Will Hunting?
Yeah, it wasn't Good Will Hunting.
I used to just hear it because my dad would say it.
No, this is when I heard
them
it.
Apples?
Boom. This is also how I learned that those trash cans are filled with water, like the barricades. I think it helps having such a focused plot here. You can tell when they're fast forwarding the clips.
Yeah, you can.
To make it look like they're going fast. Because they're obviously not going 60 in a impound lot. Boom.
These scenes are getting cut together pretty strangely.
Can you see how they got to the electrifying prelude?
Yeah.
It must be the same editor, or close, similar styles at least. Gotta take the shirt off.
Gotta take that shirt off after you're done driving.
Well, there's a purpose for it.
I assume there was.
Conveys their styles, though.
Are they gonna get in a tussle here?
Oh my gosh. Crime.
Oh, heck yeah, dude.
I love it. Ro just starts shooting at his employer.
He didn't kill nobody. He just got to sell it.
He's definitely selling it, but it's also very Roman. And you'll get to know him better, obviously.
This dude is the villain so far is very weak.
Just wait. Okay.
We hungry.
Hungry. You have now witnessed cinema history. We hungry is something I still quote to this day. Many do.
Yeah. That's one of the things I definitely know about this movie. He says it again later too, doesn't he? As he's eating.
By the pool? Yeah, but I think he's talking about money.
What does Eva Mendes do nowadays? I don't see her in much stuff anymore. She used to be in all kinds of things back then, though. Isn't she married to, or maybe they're not married, but I think they're like together and have kids. Isn't she with Ryan Gosling? I think they're like married.
Ryan Gosling. Partner Ryan Gosling from 2011 to now.
That's what I thought.
She has. They have 2 children.
I thought so. I probably looked this all up after La La Land for some reason. When I got interested in Ryan Gosling. The way that man has this cigar in his mouth.
House has ears.
He chucked his cigar
Into the ocean.
He's a polluter.
I don't think he cares.
He is a villain. That's it.
We hungry.
I thought he said it again.
So good.
The framing of that shot's so goofy with her in the background.
Like
you
she's
perfectly,
over
you
their
can
shoulders.
perfectly see all 3 of their faces. Yeah, it just looks. I mean, it just looks funny. You can tell they did it for cinematic reasons. He still has some man's cigar cutter. Paul Walker's outfit's cooler the more I look at it. I'm going to start dressing like this all the time.
The coolness is coming in more and more.
Just rocking shorts with the high white socks and the oversized t-shirt.
Converse.
Yeah.
Female.
Yeah, Brian.
Look where we at. They call him Bullet for some reason.
It's his racer name.
I want you to know this is not a nickname used in future films.
It's his racer name. Everybody's got like a car name. My dad drives trucks for a living, and he said that he used to. I think his call sign used to be Flash, is what they would call him, and everybody would just call each other different, like nicknames like that over the CB
Your dad
radios.
was Flash?
He was Flash, yeah. It's like a trucker and racer thing, apparently, that people get nicknames. This is Tej.
Tej.
Tej, is that his name? Okay, I just call him Ludacris.
Ludacris. Tej. Quite the criticism, Roman.
He's being flattering. All that Tej does is
he's a circuit man.
Race things and bet.
Well, it's his garage too, so that was probably really loud.
I'm very curious. Again, I'm not going to ask about these things because I'll find out in time. But I'm curious to see how Roman here ends up appearing in this film to then appearing with the main
future
cast in the future. Yeah. Because obviously he is the character in this. I don't know. Does Ludacris appear in the other ones too? I think he does.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay, I thought so. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they get folded back in with Dom and them. If they
Dom
all just
and Letty and
yeah. It's funny because they're trying to like not let the cops track them, but they're also still trying to do this job for the cops. Like they're doing their mission and they're doing the thing the cops want them to, but they don't want the cops following them at the same time.
Well, the other thing is the cops clearly don't trust them and are ruining their plans.
That's a good tactic. I'm going to keep that one in mind for the future. Just pretend you're cleaning somebody's car and then light it on fire.
Look, I'm carrying.
I'm packing.
Is that? It almost feels like he's in front of a green screen there.
Where at?
He shouldn't be. Just the way Rome was piercing, he kind of had like... It may have been just the way it was edited or it's been remastered, but like there was like an after image of him walking by. It looked kind of
funky, yeah. Roman's out here in the back hungry again.
That's a thing, man. He's always eating. Brutal. Oh.
That's just going to win cred with Roman.
You would think.
He already didn't like that he was a cop. You would think he's happy that he turned on the cops.
Mm-hmm.
I got to ask in advance, is there a post-credit scene in this one?
Yes? I checked all this last time. Now I gotta double check again. I'll pull it up. It's getting thick real quick.
I gotta say, the verbiage they're using in this movie is like strangely still modern. Like he's saying bruh and they're saying bruh. Like that's still how people talk. It's just kind of funny.
That's a classic. There are no post-credit scenes in this film.
Okay.
Or mid-credits.
You're telling me they don't set up Tokyo Drift? They don't show you. They don't show you what's coming up next.
Negative.
That's quite the outfit there, Roman.
Right?
Is Suki in any of the other movies?
Unfortunately, no. No, I don't think Suki has made a return yet. Save the spray. Nice. See how this is so clever though. They've incorporated a street race again, but narratively to the stakes of the main case, like job.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to get these unmarked cars so we can do some stuff to do our job without the cops screwing us up. But it's also still a race. Tez straight up talking about beating people.
I like how often they race for each other's cars in these movies. Like they're just flippant.
For pink slips?
Yeah, they're just very flippant and ready to race for tens of thousands of dollar vehicles. Because you got to think how much these are souped up too. It's not just a car. It's a car that has been worked on with a lot of parts. I feel like Roman's going to lose here.
So it's a tag team. So don't they do that in wrestling? Tag team? Tag your buddy?
Yeah, so he'll drive back down on the way, tap Brian, and then Brian takes off and does second wave.
Down and back. Down and back.
So what's going to happen is he's going to get blown out here, and then Brian's going to have to save it. See, I could be a script writer. Again, I don't know if that's exactly what's going to happen, but that's what I assume will happen.
Rome, who just got to Miami, already runs the streets.
Romy Rome. It's a great full name.
You can tell we haven't been to Tokyo yet because we're not drifting very good. See the way he used his heel to hit the brakes? That is not how you're supposed to drive.
Maybe you're not a street racer. How would you know?
I'm not. This is true. Boy, it is. This dialogue is aged gracefully.
Yeah, I know. It's like a 20-year-old movie.
Gosh, it will be 20 next year. Oh my gosh. Dirty Racing.
Dang, that was quite the
perfect hit.
Yeah. What would have kept him from just driving straight through that and screwing himself up?
Been sabotaged.
Brian's gonna have to bail him out.
If this is Forza Horizon, running through the sign would have given you bonus points.
It's true. That guy looks like he belongs in The Sopranos.
You want me to look it up?
Does he not?
I don't know.
I didn't say he is in it. I've never seen The Sopranos. He just looks like a character that would be in a mafia thing. Mafia movie or mafia media. Maybe I've just got that sort of... I've been playing the Mafia video game lately, so maybe I'm just thinking that way. Playing chicken. It's the only way he can win the race now.
He is in a lot of crime-related film.
Is he? He looks like he's a mobster.
He's in The Departed. He's in Joker. He was in The Irishman, American Gangster. I mean, he's in a lot of movies. I'm just calling out the ones specifically that match your assessment. He's also in a TV show called Witness to the Mob.
Got that speedy effect going on again.
From the first one?
Well, anytime they hit Nas, it just does the zoom out blur thing.
I bet these the CG car graphics here were probably off the chart at the time.
Yes. Top tier graphics for sure. For the time period.
Boom. What now? You mentioned that everyone's just willing to race for pink slips, trade their cars. I'm more surprised at how willing people give it over. Everyone is a racer of their word. Now they got cars.
Well, if they don't, Brian's strapped. We just got this established a couple scenes back.
This is true. So now we in the club.
All you gotta do is show him your piece, and you get your car.
It's a ho-asis.
It's a great term. I like Roman. He's a great character.
Who writes this? His delivery is impeccable. There you go. It's all the backstory you need.
Once he became a cop, he said he started seeing him as a friend?
Friend who became the enemy.
Oh, I gotcha.
Admiring his bracelet.
I don't know if I really like there being a singular like villain in this movie, to be honest. It's kind of,
as opposed to having like Johnny Tran. And
well, I guess he was a villain in the last one. I know, but that was still, this guy's like rich, like like mustache twirly villain. Like Johnny Tran in the last one was like, I'm a street racer too. I'm just a bad street racer.
You're absolutely correct. He is. This Carter here is definitely the weakest villain in the entire series, and then obviously as these movies evolve, the villains become, more bodacious in scope and scale.
We get John Cena, we get The Rock, we get what's her name? Who's in who shows up at the end of the new Doctor Strange movie? What's her name?
Charlize Theron.
Yeah, the South African lady. I was trying to think of her name. Charlize.
Yes. So he's definitely the weakest, and I mean, you're hitting it on the head. He's just a rich, mustache twirly.
He's just a weird villain for them to like go up against. Like it doesn't feel like there's any personal, like even with Johnny Tran in the last one, like at least there was like a personal beef between him and Dom and the rest, and it made sense why that was the way that it was, to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The cut between Eva's face and then back to Carter, you can see her face is a totally different look at the time. Now we're leaving. Do you like the design of the club here? Very 2003.
Yeah, very much so. Is that when this movie came out? 2003? I didn't look.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So we're coming up on a pivotal scene in the film. And this was the one scene that my aunt, who rented this back in 2003, and this is when I watched it, this is the one scene I had to close my eyes for. So all I did was I heard this. And honestly, this scene still gives me kind of the heebie-jeebies, and I think it's because of the circumstances I saw it under.
Yeah. Certain things that resonate with you in an emotional way when you're a kid still do. Like I still think the video game Jet Force Gemini is scary because I thought it was scary when I was a kid. That's the cop from The Dark Knight that he holds upside down and goes, "Where is he?" It's that guy.
Yep.
The guy who steals the guy's money says, "Come on, man, I've got kids." He says, "Well, they don't like falafel." Or not The Dark Knight, it's from Batman Begins.
The table.
So this is the scene you had to close your eyes during, I imagine?
We had to close our eyes, my brother and me. I'm curious to see what you think of this.
So you would have been...
I was 9. My brother was 7.
Okay. Oh, gosh. I've seen scenes like this before. You got to establish that the villain is truly evil.
Evil.
So that you want him to lose. Mm-hmm. That's kind of what they did in the last movie with Johnny Tran. They're like, how do we make this man evil? He'll blow up a car. And then that's how you know he's really evil.
I mean, we've definitely stepped up the evil between the movies here.
It's just a tad bit, for sure. Oh, we got a camera inside the bucket, too.
Mm-hmm. See how the henchmen are smiling as if they enjoy this?
The music in the background of this scene's also kind of hilarious.
Clearly, they heated up a bucket, too. Obviously, the rat was not in the bucket. But
no, this was really shot. They wanted to keep it really... They wanted to get a real performance out of this man. His name is Mark Boone Jr. They got an F-bomb in this movie.
Spicy.
They used their one. They used their one allotment.
Now look at his belly.
That wasn't that bad. Come on, bro. It's like a couple little nibbles. You at least got to hold out till it hits the intestines.
But yeah, I had to close my eyes for that in 2003.
And she just let it keep playing in the background?
Yes.
Had she seen the movie already?
No. So my aunt and uncle and my two cousins, they rented the movie and we were over there one evening.
And they realized what was happening and they were just like, Max, close your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's more to this story. I'll share it on the episode with you, but... I've just tortured a man, and now I will make out with you. Like, clearly the psycho is coming out.
We're really up into villainy here. We're like, all right, in the span of 5 minutes, we're going to have this man try...
really quick.
Yeah, we got to... This man trying to get rats to eat through people, and he's threatening to kill this lady. These lines are so bad, and
but
just
so good.
They just those ones sounded definitely unnatural.
Yeah, but it's the energy. We're in the boathouse. Like, why is she in a crop top?
Now, please, make love to me before you die. That's what I'm expecting to happen. You got another Pepsi ad spot right there. He's got a West Coast Chopper sticker in the window, too.
Clearly, you can see all the marketing.
Yeah.
Pepsi, Sobe, West Coast Chopper. We've gotten a smooch.
I feel like she's playing him, but I don't know. I mean, he's not good. The evil man's not nice to her, so there's no reason for her to...
Mm-hmm. Clearly got the upper body strength. She just pulled herself up onto the roof of the boat.
I thought she was maybe hiding in the shower. I don't know, man. Starting to fight with people who have guns.
Brian doesn't speak Spanish.
How does he know where they stay? How does he know where they're at?
Well, I'm sure he...
Or were they staying down on his dock there?
No, but I would assume if I'm a criminal, I would know where my employees live.
Okay.
We've switched to a blue t-shirt.
It's a nice shirt. I like this shirt.
How to wear that shirt. This guy is just like, yeah, we'll kill Brian and Roman.
Well, he doesn't care about... I mean, he got shot out by them, so he's still trying to get revenge for that.
Mm-hmm.
Bilkins is... I'm pretty sure it's... Is it? I don't think it's him. No, it's not. It's
to roll.
It's not him. He reminds me of the main character cop guy from the show with Urkel on it. What's that show called?
Family Matters?
Yeah. He looks like
the guy in Die Hard, the cop in Die Hard?
Is that the cop in Die Hard? Yeah, it is. The cop in Die Hard, yeah. He looks like them. I mean, he's just a bald black guy with a mustache, I guess.
Who's a police officer?
But yeah, he's even playing the same Same exact type of
Reginald Vell Johnson.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sunshine State license plate, baby. Does your license plate say that now?
Sunshine State?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Does it actually still say that on it?
Yeah. It's got oranges in the middle.
Was he gonna light nitrous and toss it at other cars or something?
You watch. This is the idea of the shot I'm going to take for the art for this episode, by the way, is something similar to this scene.
I'm asking you this kind of in real time, I guess, but with the art for the first season, did we end up choosing the tuna one? Is that what we're doing?
Oh, for the first episode?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it will be tuna related. It might be too busy the way what I showed you, but it will have tuna in it. Yeah, tuna's the plan, for sure.
Have they said Dom's name in this movie? Mm-mm. Just outright?
Family.
I gotta see what else Vin Diesel was doing when Too Fast would have come out, because I'm very curious to know. So actually,
some between 2001 and 2003.
Yeah, so he did Triple X in 2002. Wait, what? Oh, in his filmography, he's credited for the turbocharged prelude to Too Fast, Too Furious, and I was like, what? And it says archive footage from the original film. Yes. Okay. So he was definitely shooting Triple X and Riddick, because Riddick came out in 2004. Triple X came out in 2002. So he would have absolutely shot those two probably back to back. And then he shot.
I wonder if there were other
the
factors.
Hit film The Pacifier.
I love The Pacifier.
That was a good movie. So yeah, that probably has something to do with why I would imagine he was written. Because the first movie probably did well, and they were immediately like, okay, cool, we want to do a sequel. And he's like,
they did greenlight the sequel immediately.
I'm locked into this and this. And he had already been doing the Riddick stuff. Riddick's one of his big franchises.
Isn't there 3 Riddick movies?
Yeah, there's Pitch Black, Chronicles of Riddick, and I think there is another. I think it was just called Riddick a couple years ago. By a couple, I mean maybe 5 to 10 years ago, I think.
I was made for this, bro.
Yeah, 2013, Riddick. I remember watching Chronicles of Riddick as a kid, and I thought it was real cool at the time.
I've seen none of those films.
I thought it was real good sci-fi. It's real interesting, actually. Pitch Black. I've never seen Pitch Black, though. Or I've only seen Chronicles of Riddick, I guess.
It's not suspicious at all that these pimped out cars are just rolling into a trailer park.
Here's the mobster man with a sledgehammer.
Like, this isn't subtle at all.
It's like that meme of the guy who's. Have you seen that meme where there's like a Ferrari sitting underneath a trailer house like this?
Mm-mm.
It's basically like somebody's rich enough to they spend all their money on one thing but not the other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what that meme is used for, but I've just seen that picture before.
I love it. Save the art.
He's a man of culture. Why is all this money in the walls? Did I miss something?
It's all Carter's money. It's his drug money.
Oh.
So he listened to his cop instincts. He's following the law at risk of his family.
Cups.
You would think like
he's got like a Keanu Reeves like style delivery where he just says like short lines but makes him sound cool. He's ghost riding the whip.
Kabam. I like how the second cop just crashed into the car going so slow. This is good. This is good stuff right here. This is very reminiscent of the first car, like, drive, the job test with Carter. This feels very similar.
This feels like the Matrix 2.
Yeah,
going down the highway. Sure. Gonna start jumping all between the cars now. I love the sideways camera angle shots they always do where they twist the camera around, rotate it.
They get very creative with the shots here. And I think it is out of a desire to try and keep some stuff practical still. You know, real camera work instead of CG. And CG was probably fairly expensive at the time, too, for what they were trying to do. Compared to what it is today. Where have we seen these before?
They've got those fancy guns, baby. Gonna shoot the cop cars with them instead, though. It's new technology. I'm confused. They called in this they called the other helicopter.
Mm-hmm. This is the local PD. The customs helicopter is just surveilling everything.
Circling elsewhere.
But you have to have all three of them connected to make it work.
He can't drive. How can he not drive?
He's always been a passenger.
It's like that one song. He's still got his foot on the gas.
His toes can reach the gas while he's reaching the back door. He's a very tall man.
It's like Shaquille O'Neal size. The music's getting all intense. They're reloading their guns.
Not even.
Throw it at the cop car. Causes a huge wreck. Yep. You're loco. I'd be praying too. They're going to get killed here. I don't understand why they need... Like, if they know this man is a bad man...
They have to tie the money to him, apparently.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
But that's the only thing that they can even get on him remotely. He's clean otherwise. You don't get exciting car chases like this.
Maybe like Capone. Maybe get him on tax dodging or something. Yeah. You gotta have some dirt you could get on him.
You would think.
Yeah, they're drifting still bad.
Yeah, we haven't been to Tokyo yet.
Do they all learn how to drift in the other movies later on? Did they all
driving skill improves dramatically over the course of the following films. I don't know why the federal government doesn't intercede and get the local PD off of this.
Yeah,
because it's clearly a much bigger case.
Yeah. It's really kind of odd that they're like at odds with one another rather than working together.
We're bobbing and weaving. We're weaving and bobbing.
Probably because the what's his name, Carter, has the local PD paid off to some degree, like he was trying to with Ratman. So if they intercede, that kind of blows their
cover. But the local PD it would tip off. If there was a rat in the PD, they would tip off Carter. Sure.
Yeah.
I see that logic. Buckle your seatbelts.
Yeah, so they got to keep this close to the vest and pull in 2 street racers to do the work for them.
Illegal street racers.
Roman's going to come out firing again here.
Firing what?
A bazooka. He's going to go full T2 Arnold in this scene. Blow up all the police cars. That looks like a shot out of The Dark Knight with Morgan Freeman looking at all the VAT computers.
We are a city.
Oh, they got trucks. 2 truck, 2 furious.
Pretty much. Look at these.
Dodge Ram 1500s, baby. Now, which car is the money in? Who knows?
What a great shot.
How do they fit that many cars in there? How big is this place?
Look, you get the call back from the beginning of the movie.
Street Racers of Miami unite.
Again, family. Community. It's impressive no one crashed.
That was my thought process too. Like, dang, there's a lot of cars here. And none of them have run into each other.
Think of how coordinated that shoot had to be.
Yeah. A lot of stuntmen involved with that.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if any of like the crew members drove any of these cars. Like if anybody on the crew is like competent at driving enough to maybe drive just some of these quick shots here of the cars. Maybe not the ones where they're shooting around the corners, but
straight away.
You probably got to be credentialed or something like that to do that for these movies.
It's probably more than just your regular driver's license.
Yeah. Or, well, maybe. Because I've heard normal actors sometimes do scenes for...
Keanu Reeves did all his own driving in John Wick.
Yeah.
But he's also was trained. It's not like he just hopped
so
in the
is
car.
like Tom Cruise and all the stuff he does. And
yeah. Tom Cruise is a pilot. He's flying his own planes in movies
his own
sometimes.
jets.
Mm-hmm.
His own helicopters.
Surrounded.
Turns out it's not them. They totally swapped cars. I knew they did.
Roman switched shoes. A great line.
I just like that they keep cutting back to Bilkins and he says just a couple lines and then they come back to the...
We got to go back to the base of operations. And look, now the cars that we won earlier have played in. I really think this is a more cohesive plot than the first one. It's tighter.
I mean, it's a little bit more linear and straightforward, yeah, but less character-driven for sure. To a degree.
I don't know. I think Brian and Roman carry this movie. They carry it hard.
Yeah, Brian and Roman are the big characters, but I'm saying, like, the previous movie gave more screen time probably to, like, Dom and Brian and then Letty. I mean, the whole main crew, mainly. I will say Ludacris and Suki are in this a fair amount, though. But not so much... I don't know, they're in a good amount. Probably about as much as, like, Vince and Jesse are in the last film, to be honest. And who was the other guy's name? Leon, I think. There was another guy with them. I think it was Leon.
Yeah, I think Leon's right. This guy always thinking they're running.
I know this scene.
Oh, I was hoping you didn't.
I do know
it.
this one scene. Ejecto, seato, cuz.
Ejecto, seato, cuz. I like how the other henchman is hearing all this on the radio and is just not fazed.
Ejecto, seato, cuz. I'm wondering how what's her name's arc's gonna end here. Eva Mendez's character, because last time we saw her, she was just like, "I have
Monica.
friends," and that's it. We haven't seen her in like 25 minutes since then. Maybe not that long, but he's not
Plot
getting
twist.
the ejecto seato, cuz.
Ain't no ejecto seato. I know, I'll tell you, they're down. Honestly, I think these are the keys, not Miami. I think those bridges.
That looks
Tarpon
like
I've been
where would
there.
the keys be? Is that like more
They're
southern?
they're the bottom. They're
Oh,
the
is
bottom
it?
of Florida.
Okay.
But I think that is the keys. Because I think I've been to Tarpon Point. or at least have fed tarpon. So it's interesting they're framing this as Miami. But I don't think Miami has those long water highway things.
I think Pensacola has some of those. I've been around there. I don't know if you've ever been in that area. But they've got some of those big long water highways.
There's Monica.
She's wearing her belt kind of strangely.
I think it was a 2000s thing. It's too big for the loops, so it's just sitting on her waist.
Yeah, it's not really helping to keep your pants up at that point.
If anything, it's pushing them down.
She getting shot.
Dun, dun, dun.
Pulls out the
shotgun.
The
to
Left
the
4
face.
Dead automatic shotgun. Whips it right out. That's what it looks like, at least.
Now we look like we're in the... Oh, what are those plants called? Mangroves. We're near the mangroves.
You're asking
Which
me
would
like
be
I
the
would
keys?
know. Like I'm a
Yeah,
fellow
no, my
man of
brain.
Florida. That one area I mentioned is about the only place I've ever been. Pensacola area.
End of the road. What a line.
Ejecto, seato, cuz. It's Barstow, baby. Please tell me they ramp a car into this boat. Please tell me they ramp a car into the boat.
You gotta watch the movie, dude.
Please tell me this is the beginning of car jumps. I mean, I guess technically the start of this movie is the beginning of car jumps. And better yet, I guess them jumping in front of a train is the beginning of the car jumps, but...
This guy will not go down.
It's the mole that gives him his strength.
Jeez. Do you like how he's waving? Waving from the boat.
He's got to be a villain.
It really kind of hams up his villainy, too.
Kick out the windshield, baby.
Let's go.
Put it downstairs.
Downstairs.
He sounds...
He's a mean man.
They are going to jump the car. Good.
This is cinema.
This is true. This is true cinema. Excellent.
All a real effect. They really timed that jump.
Please ignore the CG that you saw. They're selling their injuries like they're wrestlers now.
You notice their seatbelts, though? They have harnesses on, not the shoulder straps.
Yeah. I saw him wearing those in the
Stone Cold,
the opening race. She's gonna get him. She's gonna say, "You're under arrest." I gotcha.
There you go. The villain is caught. Justice.
I thought there was maybe going to be some sort of big shootout on this boat, and then I realized that this is a car film and not a shootout film.
Mm-hmm.
This is not.
I mean, that's a car on a boat.
I mean, they put a car on a boat. Yes.
They definitely did.
Now, did they jump one onto a boat? I don't know.
Blew my mind as a child.
That they did that?
Yeah.
What'll be the resolution here? Is he going to say, "Hey, I got some friends out west"?
Just watch.
That's his way of making amends for him opening fire on him.
I like how I like how Roman's plan was if they didn't wipe his record clean, he was going to have 3 bags of money.
They should make him the final villain of Fast 11 or whatever it is. Have him come back
as
the true mastermind.
He has not returned, unfortunately.
You're right.
We gotta wrap this movie up quick. See how professional they are?
That look back, that lingering stare. Dominic Toretto is going to come out of the shadows. I'd like to talk to you about the Fast and the Furious initiative.
It's time to bump it up.
They kept a little for themselves.
And there you go.
Directed by
You've
John
now
Singleton.
Seen Too Fast, Too Furious.
Well, there we go. That was the one that I thought would be hard to watch, potentially. Because it's the one that everybody acts as like the black sheep of the series. And I can see why, I guess. Because Dom's not in it and stuff.
Yeah, it's...
And neither is like the rest of the primary cast. So
yeah, and it's the way we're watching all of these. It'll be interesting for you because you're not.
Because I'm going Fast and
Drift.
Furious next, right? Yeah.
Yes, and you won't see Tokyo Drift. Like you're watching 3 more movies before you see Tokyo Drift, I think.
Yeah. I have to ask, does his Eva Mendes showed back up again?
Do you want the answer to that?
I feel like she hasn't, like to my knowledge.
She has.
Okay. Interesting.
Eva Mendes returns.
Okay. That'll be interesting because she's like a notable enough actress in these films, and the way her character ends here, they kind of could set it up for her to return one day, but I didn't know if she did or not. So
no.
Okay.
No, she does return. So yeah, you've got you're on your way to being a part of the family, and now we get into some crazy stuff. The leap between what you're gonna see next is pretty interesting.
Like I said, I have seen Tokyo Drift, I believe, but
yeah,
it was a long time. It was quite a long time ago. So
yeah.
So I know we're not watching Tokyo Drift next, but I'm saying like I have seen the progression now from this to this one to Tokyo Drift. So I kind of understand what comes after that with Fast and Furious, which I'm curious to watch because I don't hear a lot of people ever talk about that movie other than it being, it's the one where they got them back together. And that's about the only thing people say about it. And then Fast 5, I know
you'll have a lot to say after seeing it. So
yeah. I mean, you're going to close us out here, but we'll have our full episode on this that we'll talk about here too. I mean, that'll be live at the time you're watching this. If you're listening to this commentary, so you can check that out.
Just wanted to say thank you to our members for supporting the show and listening along as we watch the Too Fast, Too Furious together. If you want, you can follow the show on Twitter at Chapter Select. You can follow Logan on Twitter at Moreman12 and his writing over at comicbook.com. And then you can follow myself on Twitter at MaxRoberts143 and my writing over at maxfrequency.net. And like Logan said, check out the episode of Too Fast, Too Furious if you haven't already, and the rest of Season 4, which is all about the Fast and the Furious. Thanks so much for trying out this commentary with us. I had a lot of fun watching it with you, Logan. So
hopefully this was entertaining for those who may have listened to this, because this is the first time we've done anything like this. So hopefully it was enjoyable for you if you happen to listen and watch along with us.
Yeah, so thank you all very much, and until next time, adios.